I thought for my first search I would go straight to Google Images as I'm a little bit of a visual learner, so I thought this might be one of the best ways to get my head around the task at hand. So I'm going to type in inquiry learning and just search to see what images I get. As you can see, there are a whole plethora of results for this search term. Going into this first image here, so this will tell us what inquiry learning is, why we need to use inquiry learning, and ways in which it can relate to the curriculum. We can click on these various tabs here to find examples of how it can exactly be used, the process, so how it differs from the traditional classroom to the inquiry classroom. So this might be a good website to come back to get a few ideas from this. Going back to my original search, here we have got a 4-step approach to inquiry learning. So this is a linear model. If we go back, we can see down here now, this is another 4-step approach. However, rather than a linear model, this is a cyclical model showing the same steps. Once again, going back, you can see there are a whole variety of ways in which inquiry learning can be represented. This particular one is a 5-step model, which I do quite like. It has come from a person's blog page about inquiry learning. So just enlarging this. So this is a 5-step. It uses simple language, which I like for the prep children that I teach, where we can ask them a question. They can go about investigating it either individually or as a class. Create, so that might be creating their project, creating a piece of artwork to represent their learning, using Play-Doh to create what they have learnt. We can then discuss this and they can reflect on their learning. So that's quite a good one, as I said, for younger children. Kuhlthau's model uses 7 stages, which for the younger children would be difficult or more difficult for them to understand. They use an initiation stage, which of course isn't mentioned in here, moving on to the selection phase in Kuhlthau's model, which to me closely relates to this ask here. Kuhlthau then moves on to the exploration, followed by the formulation stage. To me, those 2 stages could come in under this investigate stage. Kuhlthau then looks at the collection stage, and that could probably also come in under this investigate stage. The presentation stage. Now, I'm assuming that this create would relate quite closely to the presentation stage of Kuhlthau's model, and Kuhlthau then moves on to the assessment stage. So this could come in maybe under this discuss and the reflect on what they have actually learnt. So as I said, for younger children, much simpler model for them to understand rather than Kuhlthau's model. Okay, going back to have a look at the other images that are available. Some of these seem quite busy with the information they have on them, and some are quite simple. Here's the Stripling model of inquiry. And as you can see, this is quite busy with information, and although it could be quite easy to understand for older children, certainly not for younger children. Okay, we'll move on and have a look what's on the next page. I've seen these images here before, where they look like jigsaw puzzle pieces, so everything needs to fit in together for the inquiry task to work. Once again, there's various models or representations of inquiry learning. Okay, once again moving on. So lots of these models I can come back and have a closer look at later on, but I do like the simple models. Okay, there's our textbook guided inquiry in the 21st century. Oh, another larger example of it here. So obviously I could go into these and their various schools and how they use inquiry learning. Here's another cyclical model of inquiry learning. Yes, we certainly have to put our thinking cap on in this task here. This is an interesting image, maybe something that I could use in one of my blog posts. I'll see where this has come from. Okay, there it is there. It's actually come from somebody else who is a student at the moment studying on what inquiry learning is. So that might be an interesting blog to come back and read as well. Oh, there's a visual section. Okay, and here you can see we've got a YouTube clip. So once again, that's something I can come back and have a look at later. Maybe go and look up the YouTube's accounts for that inquiry-based learning. Okay, coming back again. Okay, mind map, more models by the looks of it. Well, the KWL table, yes, they're quite useful. So yes, what we know, what we want to know, and what we learnt. That's one I've used with my children before as well. It doesn't want to take me back now to what I was doing before. Oh, here we go again. More of these models. Okay, I think I've just about had enough of the visuals for now, so I might go and do a far more academic search, maybe looking through one of our databases.